Well, I can leave it like this and just have 2L, 10 plus 2L T. Or I can, I always like to have my variables towards the front, so I could say 2L plus 10, or 10 plus 2L, however I want to write it. So there's my equation. I wrote the total pay is equal to 2L plus 10. So I want to make sure that I'm identifying what those variables are. L is load of laundry, T is total pay. And I could have used X and Y or any letters I wanted to use to set up my equation, but there's my equation. So let's look at another example of setting up an equation. So example 2, here's my problem. Maria went to Castles and Coasters with her friend. She paid $12 to get in and had to pay 50 cents per game she played. Let's write an equation to show the total cost of her trip. So I don't know how many games that she played, but I know that she paid 50 cents per game and she paid $12 to get in. So let's see if we can identify some of these variables. So our dependent variable, so that's the total cost of her trip. So the total cost, so I'm just gonna, total cost. That's gonna be in dollars, and I'm probably gonna use the variable T for total. What is my constant? So no matter what does she pay? She had to pay $12. So my constant is $12. Excuse me. What's the rate? So the rate would be the 50 cents per game she played. So the rate is going to be 50 cents, and the independent variable is game. It's played. So once again, I'm going to write this out in words now. I want to make sure that I get my equation in words. So I'm going to say that the total cost is equal to my entrance fee, or my, kind of that entrance fee, which was the $12, plus the 50 cents. Oops. Per game that it cost me to play the games. So can I write this out in an equation? Sure. So what variable am I going to use for games? I'll use G for game. I have T for total cost. So the total cost is equal to $12 plus 50 cents per game. So there's my equation. And once again, I could rewrite that so that T is equal to 0.5. I don't even need the 0. I can just have 0.5 G, plus 12. So there's lots of different ways I can simplify that for my needs. But I'm just going to leave this T equals 12 plus 0.5 G. Okay, here are 3 for you to take your turn. So write the equation and solve the problem if necessary. So really right now what we're focusing on is just writing the equation. We're not necessarily worried about solving them. So let's just worry about getting them written, and we can worry about solving them later, because that should be a review from previous lessons. So please pause the recording at this time and complete these 3 problems, writing the equation. Alright, let's take a look here. Hopefully you were successful in these 3 problems. So Rob acts in commercials. He's paid $100 as base pay, plus $50 per completed commercial. Write an equation for Rob's total pay. So I have total pay, $100 base pay, meaning that no matter what, he's going to get paid $100, and he gets $50 per completed commercial. So as I'm looking at this problem, I can already see that my total pay is going to equal the base pay plus the $50 per commercial. So if I'm going to write this out in equation form, my total pay, my total is equal to, what's the base pay? $100 plus $50 per commercial, where T is the total and C represents commercials. The soccer team purchased 175 mini soccer balls for 75 cents each. If the soccer player sold all the soccer balls for $1.50 each, what will be the total profit if all mini soccer balls are sold? Ooh, to set this one up. So I want to know total profit is what I'm looking for. I know the number of balls. I know that they were bought for $75 and they were sold for $1.50. So when looking for profit, I need to know the difference between what I sold them for and what I bought them for. So when I take that difference is subtracting. I'm going to subtract that what I bought it for, or what I sold it for, and what I bought them for. I'm looking for that difference, and how many? What's that quantity? How many did I buy? So 175, and that's going to equal the profit. Excuse me. So our total profit is always equal to the difference between what was bought and sold and times how many we bought. So the profit P is equal to 175 times $1.50 minus 75 cents. So we made 75 cents per ball. We said sold 175. I could work this out to find the total profit. Courtney is going to the state fair. To enter the state fair, it costs $20 a day plus $2 for each ride. Write an equation for the relationship between her cost C for the fair and the number of rides R. How much will the state fair cost Courtney if she goes on 13 rides? So here we're told that the cost C and the number of rides R. So we want to make sure we use those variables in our equation. So we're saying that the cost is going to equal the entrance fee. What's the cost to get in? Plus the cost per ride. And we don't know how many rides that she goes on, so that's going to be a variable there. So the cost is equal to the entrance fee, $20, plus how much per ride? $2 per hour. So there's our equation. It also talks about how much will the state fair cost if she goes on 13 rides. We would just plug in a 13 there. 2 times 13 would be 26 plus 20. It's going to cost her a total of $46 for her to go on that many rides. To get into the park and ride 13 rides would be $46. That is the end of today's lesson. If you could please make sure to watch any the remaining videos and complete the homework assignment before doing the quiz for this section. The homework quiz would be greatly appreciated. And make sure you contact your teacher if you have any questions regarding today's lesson. Thank you.